Hey, what is up, everybody? This is the Great Puckatini, and what I got for tonight, man, is I'm gonna break down this Arkansas Razorback Arizona Wildcat game from tonight. I'm mad, I'm upset. I hate to see our season coming in. Had a really good year, and it's always tough being a coach. I've been through it. Like I said, I coached for over 15 years, and you're always, their life changed tonight. That group, that team that we have will never be together again. Everybody's probably already went their separate ways. They'll never be together again. And you hate that. And as a coach, as a head coach, you try to comfort your players. And I did it with boys and girls, softball to head varsity football. And it's a tough time. But right now we can reflect on that later. Right now I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm ticked off, because I don't think Arkansas was done right. And the SEC needs to step up and quit letting the NCAA, kick us in the butt. And I could make another video on that. But they just treat our teams wrong, I'm going to tell you. But anyway, the title of this is Why Did Arkansas Lose Tonight? Played a very good Arizona team. They need no help at all. And they played super well tonight. They shot the ball way over what they normally do. And they're not that much better than Arkansas. I'm going to show you stats, just plain out stats. Not me interjecting at all much, I don't think. but anyway, we're going to check it out, and I'm going to show you why did Arkansas lose this game tonight. Now, first off, this was a game decider here for sure. Was the 3-point shooting. I'm gonna move that over, my picture down here a little over. That was bothering me, but it made me feel like I was about to fall off the screen there. But anyway, 3-point shooting was definitely a game decider tonight. Arkansas tonight, we were 5 of 23 for 21.7%. That is way low for us. Generally, we shoot about 39% from three, 38, 39%. So if we would have done that, we would have been about 9 of 23, which that means, 9, which means we would have gotten 4 more threes, right? What's 4 times 3 is 12. So we should have had really 12 more points if we just shoot our average, right? Or maybe come in under that a little bit, 35, 36. That still would give us 9, 10 more points, okay? You can't say, Arizona fans, I've been in it with them all night, all day today. You can't say it wasn't the size. Those 3-point shots, a lot of them we didn't even have a hand in our face. We were just missing them. A-Cuff really struggled from 3. Malik hit a couple, but he was struggling too. We all struggled from 3. And we didn't shoot way too many. I think we shot 23. Our average is 21, Hey, so they didn't way overshoot them. We just couldn't make them like we usually do, So that was down. It wasn't the defense. It wasn't Arizona's great defense. We just weren't making them. Now let's look at Arizona. They went 5 of 8, which was 63% from 3-point. Wow, that's like double what they usually do, just about. Not quite, of course. Now, so 36% is usually their average. That would have been about 2 out of 8. So you take off 2 of those 3 of them. They made 5. So you take off 3, they'd gotten 2. So that's 9 less points for them. Okay? And I'm just saying, the game could have changed, of course, when you start taking points off. Now, Arizona beat us 109 to 88, right? I believe that's correct. So if you add 12 points to us, 88 plus 12 is 100. You take off 9 points to them, it's 100. The game's tied 100 all, okay? So you can't tell me right there. Now, I know the averages don't always add up. They don't. That's true. Arkansas shot bad. But I'm saying right there, with everything else, if you play about, and you can't say it was great defense or bad defense for Arkansas, whatever, those 3-point shots, a lot of them are uncontested. You can go back and look at it. Go back and look, okay? But that was the ball game right there. That was one game decider, okay? And if you, like I say, you adjust that, we're right there in the game with everything that happened, okay? Because that wasn't the only thing that happened. Like I said, Arizona is plenty good enough. They don't need help. They don't need help from anybody else. But guess what? They did get a lot of help tonight. Take a guess at who you think helped them out a lot. Well, I can tell you right now, the dadgum officials helped them out a bunch. So let's go to slide 2 here. Now, I'm going to move myself down a little bit. So fouls and free throws. This was a game decider as well. And this is one that really makes me mad, dadgummit. Now, Arkansas, we fouled 26 times. We had 26 fouls, okay? Arizona only had 16. That's a 10-foul difference. You can't tell me you watched the same game as I did and see Darius Acuff get hit, bumped all over. Malik Thomas was getting hit. Wagner was getting hit trying to drive the basket. Billy was getting hit. And they don't call fouls. Every time we try to play defense, they call a foul on us. So 26 to 16 fouls, okay? Free throws, look at this. Arkansas only shot 26 free throws. Arizona shot 39. Now, Arkansas actually shot the free throws well. Arizona did too. They both shot well. So this stat here greatly helps Arizona. They got 13 free points, more than we did, okay? That's not fair. It's not fair. Now, so Arkansas got plus 13 more attempts. That was actually plus 13 more, more attempts, excuse me. That's right. Now, if these numbers were closer and you take the three-point shooting I was talking about earlier, you think Arkansas might have had a chance to win? I do. I think that for sure. You look at three-point shooting, maybe we shoot a little bit better. But that's our fault. We didn't shoot good at threes as we should have. But still, you take these here, fouls should even up, guys. I mean, it should. It should even up, guys. I've been a coach and been around basketball my whole life. It shouldn't be that big of a disparity unless it's just something's going on. And, anyway, I get in a lot of that. But the fouls and the free throws were a big problem. 26 to 16. They shot 39 39 free throws. We shot 26. That's a 13 free throw difference, okay? You take those two things together, Arkansas can win the stinking game. Even as bad as it looked, Arkansas still could have won that game. Now, I keep hitting my picture down here. Excuse me, I'm still getting over the flu here. Now, points in the paint also. I made a point about this in the video I did about saying that Arkansas, we could beat Arizona and everything, and I still think we could have. Now, Arizona scored 60 in the paint, and we only scored 50, which is quite a bit for us. But anyway, 60 in the paint's too much. Arizona, they did dominate inside, but because every time we tried to play defense, they called us for a foul. We couldn't keep them out of the lane. And then, my gosh, when there's a rebound, you better not be in front of one of their guys. They're going to come in and hammer you in the back, They were doing that all night long. Go back and watch it. I did, they're doing it all night. Both teams were. That's the way college basketball is, man. But anyway, points in the paint, it did hurt. But like I say, every time we try to cut them off, they call a foul on us. Now, shooting efficiency, okay? Let's look here. So, was it Arizona's just wonderful defense? They tried to talk their defense is so wonderful, so great. And they are good defensively. Arizona's a heck of a team. They don't need any help, but they got a lot of help. Arkansas's field goal percentage tonight was 48%, okay? We average right at 50 on the year. So did that size hurt us? No. Okay, Arizona, their field goal percentage was 64%. A lot of that was they're getting in the lane, got a lot of point paints, but they generally shoot 50%. Okay, but it wasn't. The fouls. Every time we tried to play, it was a foul. Goodness. Now, our free throw percentages, we shot 81% from free throw line. They shot 77. So right there, we shot right at the same free throw amount. Field goal percentage, they was way high there. So the field goal percentage gap was decisive. But like I said again, every time we tried to play defense, they called a foul on us. And our players were getting upset. I mean, it's hard to keep your composure when it just keeps happening over and over and over. I mean, my goodness. I don't know how they kept their composure. Rebounding battle. Arkansas, we had 28 rebounds to Arizona's 30. That was about right. Arizona was the better rebounding team coming into the game, but we were right there with them. So did Arizona's size hurt us at all? No. We had 9 offensive rebounds, so their 6 out offensive rebounded them. I said in the one I just made, we need to keep them to under 10 offensive rebounds, and we did that. So like I say, our size affected Arizona some. Rebounding right there. So takeaway is rebounding is not why we got beat. Defense, blocks and steals. We had 5 steals, they had 3. So who had the better defense? 3 blocks to 5 blocks. Arizona has a lot of size. They had the big 7'2" kid in there. Well, guess what? We had 3 blocks. They had 5. That's 8. 8. They call those. I can't remember what they call them now, but there's a stat they call that. I can't remember, but anyway, blocks or something. I can't remember how they call that when you combine blocks and steals together. So to me, the defense was even. We were pretty even defensively there. We had 8, and they had 8 total defensive plays there. Assist to turnover ratio, that's something that we've lived on all year long. We were 13-9, which is about a 1.44. A lot of times we were close to a 3 assist to turnover ratio, so that is down a little bit for us. So, Arizona does play really good defense. But once again, we're trying to get to the basket, and A-Cuff's getting hit, he's getting bumped, no fouls. A lot of times it was not called. Arizona was 19-12, so Arkansas had less turnovers than they did. We forced more turnovers, which is what I said. I think Arkansas's size would bother them, and I think it did a lot of times. So it was really close there. Arkansas had fewer turnovers, And the Billy Richmond ejection, this one I'm going to kind of end on here. This was the biggest, most bogus thing I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of bogus and crazy things. It happened, I think, with about 7 minutes left. They gave him a flagrant 2. They ejected him. I could not believe an ejection. What? Now, nobody in your right mind can say an ejection was called for right there. If you want to call him for a foul, okay. He was just standing there. He bumped him a little bit, but to eject him over that? What is going on? It was a momentum shift. Arkansas had a little bit going there. We had started to hit a couple threes, got some stuff going, got a steal or 2. It was still, we weren't going to come back and win it at that point. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying this really magnified the poor officiating on the night. The commentators, they were talking about saying that they weren't going to give Billy a flagrant because the guy just clearly flopped. It was an absolute flop. Come on. If you don't say that was a flop, I can't even talk to you. You're just I don't know. That's pretty bad. Now, because I'll say Arizona gave Arkansas plenty of fits. And, we didn't stop them as good as we should have, but the fouls were bad. But if you can't say that was a flop and that was a cause for ejection, there's just, can't talk to you. But anyway, it was one of the worst calls I've ever seen as far as the ejection part of it. I can understand maybe calling it a foul, but my goodness, you go back and watch the game, watch how they hit and bump, push, and shove each other when they're posting up or trying to get ready for a rebound. Man, they're down there fighting down there. And to call that was crazy. And I just say, the flopping trend has really hurt basketball at all levels. You see them just flopping. And, LeBron James, I think, brought a lot of that in the game. There's others doing it too. But, man, that was really bad. That ejection right there really just – and then they tried to say that Arkansas was classless or whatever. Pringle was jumping, trying to block a shot, and the guy comes underneath him, and he lands. If he wanted, he could have brought an elbow down or something. There was plenty of times there for Arkansas to be really dirty, and they didn't do it. So to say they're classless or they're dirty, whatever, this is a group of kids. That's bogus, That's just stupid. And the commentators try to say that it was an Arizona love fest all night, but anyway, and that was the end of it there. But just going back over it here just real quick, the 2 things that really hurt us, the 3-point shooting. Arkansas really just did not shoot the 3 well at all. That's our fault. We didn't shoot it good. It happens, And then the fouls and free throws. Arizona needed no help. They can beat anybody on their own, I promise you. They're plenty good enough. But the officials helped them all out a lot too. They helped them a ton tonight. And, like I say, the threes, I was just trying to show if we shot the ball a little bit better for us Arkansas fans, we were right in the game if we could have hit 4 more threes, about like we normally do. We're right in the game. And then Arizona don't shoot otherworldly like they did tonight. They were just on fire. But anyway, that's the way it goes in basketball, man. Anybody can win, anybody can lose. And I just hate that the officials kind of tarnished it there a little bit. I wish the fouls were 26-20 or 26-23. They should be closer than that. If you got one team sitting back in a zone and they're being real passive, and the other team's playing a tough man-to-man, full court, they're bumping and running, I could understand there being a foul difference. But when both teams playing man-to-man, they're both playing physical, aggressive. Shouldn't be 26-16. And then have the free throw difference plus 13 for Arizona. God, come on now. That's yeah. It's not too great. But anyway, man, I hope y'all guys, like I say, I hate that we got beat here, Where's my thing to pause this? I hate that we got beat, dadgum. I love this basketball team. It's fun to watch them. Fun to watch old Darius Acuff and all of them. Brazil, man, he put on a show. Malik Thomas. I'd love to see Malik Thomas come back. I think he could come back, and be really good. I think he has not even tapped his potential yet. He's a little bit taller than Darius at 6'5", and he can get in the lane a little bit, and he can rise over some people. But I'm sure he's probably going too. But anyway, I hate to see these guys go. They were a lot of fun to watch. A great season. SEC tournament champions. Man, it was a great year. Got to the Sweet 16 again. And we got to get Cal some more money. He's talking about that. I don't have any money to give him. I wish I did. But he's saying to have to pay what he has to pay to get the best players, he could only afford 8, and that's all he could afford. I heard him talking about that. I think to McAfee, I think he was telling him that. He said, that's why I only have 8 players. I don't have enough money to buy 10, or 9 or 10. We just did you do the best you can. And so he needs more money. If we can get him more money, man, and Coach Cal can win. He knows it, man. He knows, he understands the game and everything, and he can put winners together. In my understanding, with the team he's got coming next year with Jordan Smith Jr., with J.J. Andrews is a heck of a player from Arkansas, and then Abdou Toure, those 3 there are heck of players, man. He can get a few more guys in the transfer portal, some big guys, man. He'll be ready to make another run again. So, man, if we can, give him some money there. But anyway, that's all I got, man. I'm upset we got beat tonight, but I want to tell you, Arizona's tough, man. They're going to be hard to knock out for sure. They're going to be a hard team to beat. And they definitely don't need the refs helping them. So, anyway, that's all I got. I just want to get on here and get this and tell you what I'm thinking. You're probably thinking the same thing if you're an Arkansas fan. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And, I know you enjoyed the season the way I did. I hate to see it come to an end. But another great year by Coach Cal. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button for me. That helps me out a lot. And then subscribe to my channel. And then click that notification bell. I try to make at least a video every day, trying to, when I don't have the flu or something going on at school, running late. But anyway, and come back and leave me a comment, leave me a message. Boy, I was all day messaging back these Arizona fans. They were hitting me hard. But anyway, that's all right. I like it. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for spending time with me. And whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a good day or a good evening. Best thing about sports is the sun will always, the sun will always rise in the morning, if it's God's will. Sports are not life and death. That's a great thing. And I tell you, this whole stupid thing is still making it where I can't find how to pause my videos. Maybe this right here. I don't know why it's going so crazy on me. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. And I appreciate it so much. And we'll see you soon. And go Hogs.